Hi, my name is Dr. Marc Reynolds, and I'm a voice teacher, performance coach, and stage director. Today we're going to be talking about Dimash's performance of Notre de Paris. It's especially meaningful after the fire of this week and thinking through the long history that building had. The question of today is, how important is body language? What is Dimash doing with his body that helps reinforce what he's saying with his words, his singing, and what the music is calling for? Comment down below. I'd love to hear your response. Here we go.
Je sens ma vie qui bascule vers une terre connue. Je vois la foule qui recoule quand je marche dans la rue. Je suis un amusani, un amusani.
I'm not really wanting to talk about what's going on vocally today in this one. I think it's just beautiful to listen to and to hear these two voices working together. I do want to talk about three things that drew my attention and that we can talk about that were kind of on the same level of the building Notre Dame itself. Meaning they're more of the structural pieces that give meaning to the art that's being made within that structure.
Cet océan de passion qui déferle dans mes veins, qui creuse ma déraison, ma déroute, ma devin. Doucement j'y plongerai, sans qu'une me retienne. Lentement je m'y noierai, sans qu'un remords ne me vienne. Tu vas me détruire.
So let's talk about the three things that I'm seeing here and what they're doing with it that make this piece, meaning the singing and the acting and everything else going on, so powerful and really pulls us into this world that they're creating.
Tu vas me détruire, et je vais te me dire jusqu'à la fin de ma vie. Tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire. J'aurais pour le prédire dès le premier jour, dès la première nuit. Tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire.
First is the sets. Second is the costumes. Third is the lighting. What are they doing with the set here? Well, the set is this mix of very contemporary concert type of structure. So we see the modern day metal and screens and saturated colors and things like that behind it. But that's not what's in the foreground. What our attention is drawn to is this fake snow that's coming down, these people, the props, the picture, and the colors and lights. So let's talk about what the primary purpose of a set, anything is a set where the performers are performing. What a set does is it locates us. It puts us in a specific location. It doesn't always put us in a specific location, but it gives us information. Sometimes that information is very sparse. Say we're in a concert hall and there's nothing having to do with the story. Then it's the singer's responsibility to create an imaginary set around them that by imagining themselves as the performer, lets the audience then see that world they're in. The more literal it is, the more it takes the hands out of the performer and places it in a more direct, literal way that the audience can see and knows exactly what they're supposed to be looking at and seeing. The blue in this doesn't only put us in kind of a sad type of situation, but more a cold situation. Not just physically cold, but cold in terms of emotion. And that fits what's going on here. Second, the snow coming down locates us in terms of time of year, that we're in a place that snows, that is physically cold. And there's kind of an emotional response to snow coming down. There's beauty to it. And in that beauty, there's also the potential for suffering and pain, as well as playing and pleasure. But that potential there, in this case, matched with the blue, puts us in this cold, almost surreal circumstance. It heightens the drama. The picture there locates us in terms of history, that it's somewhere that's older. Even if you don't know what the picture is about, it's black and white, it's older looking, which puts us back before the modern era. So even though the set is relatively simple, it communicates a lot of information and gets us in the mood to be able to understand the context for the rest of the song where we're at.
Mon péché, mon obsession, désir fou qui me tourne à dérision, qui me déchire moi. Petite marche d'illusion, je n'ai vu que dans l'attaque, des voix volées que je prends, et que dis dans cette chante, tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire.
Number 2 is costumes. One of the primary purposes of the costume is to locate us as well. Locate us in time, locate us in place, locate us in terms of emotion, locate us in terms of season of the year.
Et je vais te maudire jusqu'à la fin de ma vie. Tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire. J'aurais pu le prédire dès le premier jour, dès le premier jour, et tu vas me détruire. Tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire.
Locate us in terms of status. So these clothes, again, take us out of modern day. It locates us in Paris in the time that we're talking about here. The props as well locate us in terms of that time as well. They're not modern guns, and so they set up that time. They also set up subconsciously the primary focal point. Take a second and notice here that Dimash is the primary focal point. Why? Well, there's a few reasons. Primary reason is he has white underneath this coat. White on stage reads really hot and draws our attention right away. Number 2, the coat that he's wearing here is super high status. It's long, it's really noble looking, and it's just a high status coat, which draws our attention. And so it doesn't just locate us in terms of the who, what, where, when, and why, but it also locates us into who's the central focal point that we're supposed to be paying attention to here. And at the end, it makes sense. He's the one who wins the duel. Third thing that we want to talk about here is the lighting. We already talked about the blue, but we also want to talk about the dark. It starts in this dark, which again allows us to start in this kind of mysterious, threatening kind of emotional place. The lights come up, it draws our attention to where it needs to go, but it's also flashing, which gets us this feeling of snow coming down and light hitting it and shimmering, this kind of surreal effect as well. It also gives us this disorienting feeling with these lights flashing, that it feels unsafe, it feels threatening, it feels not natural. It feels like we're in a place where the light is not going to reveal everything, that it's hiding things, that it's distracting us, that there's a lot of drama going on here. There's a lot of information that's getting communicated to the audience through what they're doing with the set, what they're doing with the costumes and props, and what they're doing with the lighting. Is that anything groundbreaking or shattering to us? No. But when I'm watching this performance as a audience member trying to turn off my stage director hat, those things aren't what I'm paying attention to. I'm not really noticing them on a conscious level. I think that is the sign of a set, costumes, and lighting that is well done. They're supposed to support the story, not draw attention away from the story. And so to me, I think they're really well done. They're excellent and draw the attention to where we want it to be, which is on the story that these two performers are sharing with us, the emotions, the meaning, the intent, the action, the drama, and also the beautiful singing. It really is absolutely gorgeous here.
Moi qui me croyais libre, me voici en Grébert. Moi qui me croyais libre, rentré de feu de la chair. Je m'enflamme, me consume, ouvre les yeux d'une étrangère qui est bien plus de mystère que la lumière de la rue.
My favorite parts of this video is when we heard their voices singing at the same time and how well they worked together in their sound and their quality. And it was just stunning. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Jusqu'à la fin de ma vie, tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire. Je ne pourrai connaître que le premier jour de la première nuit. Tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire, tu vas me détruire.
That was gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful, heartbreaking, and absolutely well sung by both and performed by both singers there. Back to our question of the day. Is body language important? Does it matter? Of course it matters. Body language is as important as 90% plus of communication. If that's the case, wow, of course it's important. We can't just stand there and sing. Yeah, we can. But in this generation especially, that is so visually adept and smart, we react to what we see. Whether we like it or not, we can't help but absorbing that information and have our emotions, our thoughts, and feelings affected by that. So the more believable their body language is, the more natural, the more true it is to what the story and music and text are calling for, the more engaged we'll be. The more we'll forget that this is not a normal phenomena, that we are watching someone singing and walking through a pretend situation that isn't really happening. But we'll be able to suspend our disbelief and engage in a way that's truly amazing. I think the body language that we're seeing from both of these gentlemen isn't super realistic. I'm not seeing super naturalistic body language, but the set, the costumes, the music, the performance isn't meant to be 100% realistic. It is stylized in a manner. So their body language matches the rest of the aesthetic that's going on. That said, the most important part that lets us believe what they're saying or not is what their eyes and face are doing. And for both of them here, their eyes and face are very naturalistic. They're very believable and extremely engaged with what the music is calling for and what the text is calling for. So we can forgive a little bit of some of the overly dramatic or sudden or abrupt body language moments because we believe the eyes and the face. That's where we look for truth. As always, gotta love Dimash. Those fans out there, I just became an official Facebook fan as well. Love Dimash and what he's doing. Join me for future videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want a voice lesson, a performance coaching, or just need someone to talk to about your ideas, book a time with me at mrperformingartsstudio.com. I'd love to work with you online.